What are you supposed to do if you see a zombie? Hope it's Halloween. Alright? Today's film is The Evil Dead, the remake. Hey, didn't we just talk about remakes? Why, yes we did. The Evil Dead remake is awesome. I feel like a lot of people shit on this film, but I've never heard any critique that's really justified or defensible. Most of it is just arbitrary shit about it not being as good as the original or not the same, which I don't think is a good enough reason to not like this film. I'm going to start by telling you everything this film does right, and then I'll finish with everything it does wrong. That way you can decide whether or not you want to give this film a go. First off, this film is actually scary. It gave me a mean case of the heebie-jeebies, and it was the kind of scary that you kind of think about like a couple days later, which doesn't happen all that often. The effects in this film are practical. I mean, I'm sure they use CGI at some point, but the reason why it looks as good as it does is all of that gore and all of that madness, they actually did that. The movie telegraphs the terrible things that are going to happen in a really interesting way. Like, the Necronomicon will, blow open to a page of some real horrific, terrifying shit, and then the camera will, slow pan down a hallway, and it just works because you're like, oh, fuck, I'm going to have to witness what the book just said is going to happen, oh no! And it actually was really effective. And lastly, a thing that really bugs me in horror films is when a character is freaking out and they're like, oh my god, there's a real threat here, we need to do something, we need to go, we need to get out of here. And then the group just brushes that person off and they're like, why are you such a loser, Monica? I don't care how much of a fucking loser Monica is. If she's that scared of something, it doesn't matter if I don't believe her. We're leaving the woods. We're getting out of the woods. And, just common fucking decency. Well, in this story, a similar thing happens. A character sees something and is horrified and wants to go. But the reason they're even out there is so she can kick her drug habit and go through withdrawals. So, none of the characters are buying it. So finally, there's a fucking reason to stay in the haunted woods. I love it! So after all that high praise, what does the film do wrong? It's not The Evil Dead. It's not a shot-for-shot remake of your favorite cult horror film. It's a different film entirely, and apparently that's its only downfall. And that seems to be a deal breaker for a lot of people. Let me know downstairs in the comments what your favorite Bruce Campbell film is. I'm gonna go with Bubba Hotep, because Elvis versus a mummy is an incredible concept, and I just genuinely love that film. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the original Evil Dead, but Elvis versus a mummy, dude. Stay safe, stay spooky. Happy Halloween.